I would describe myself as a very chameleon-like character. Quite versatile and outgoing, social. I like to turn my hand to quite a lot of different things, and I would say that's also reflected in my personality. Lots of different influences and interests in life. I would categorize my music as retro contemporary jazz. But going into more detail, I'd say that I draw influences from the 40s and the 50s, especially with the melody lines and the chord progressions that I use. And also, it's informed by musical theatre, like the Hollywood era of musical theatre for melodies, as well as gypsy jazz as well. My influences musically are so wide and varied. Specifically, I don't think there is anyone specifically. I think from growing up and listening to music like Rodgers and Hammerstein, some jazz artists like Julie London, Keely Smith, Louis Prima. I mean, I'm picking up a vibe here, it's quite 50s. However, I went through a time in my life where I was really into like reggae, Ken Booth, and and hip hop. I was really into hip hop. So and not forgetting all the classical influences as a harpist, Debussy, and listening to harpists like Harpo Marx and Dorothy Ashby. As a harpist, I'm influenced by Harpo Marx and Dorothy Ashby, and as a songwriter, I'm influenced by everything that I've just taken in throughout the years. My influences stylistically really go back to the glamorous era of Hollywood 50s and 40s. No one specifically, but just those kind of Hollywood film stars. Very tailored, cinched in at the waist, very womanly type of clothes. The story of my new album is one of authenticity. It really is quite autobiographical. It's my story and what I went through in going through a breakup and also where I'm at in my life today. And it's because of that, it's a story that fulfills many of the things that represent me, which is hope, belief, overcoming things, and thinking big, which is why it's called Think Big Like Me. It's about overcoming a period of time or situations in your life that you didn't think you could overcome. And for me, that happens to have happened through writing my songs. My songwriting process is very varied. I basically brew ideas in my head for a long time, and I can be influenced by the strangest of things. I might hear a noise in the background or a beat coming from somewhere that will just trigger an idea. I think when it comes to melodies, I just am gifted with that. They just come. I don't have to try. And in terms of the actual writing process, I really enjoy collaborating with people as well as writing on my own. I like the bouncing off somebody else, you know, vibing the ideas. Can get quite exciting. And also it's quite good, I find, to be stretched sometimes by working with another writer, because I like to work for other artists too, writing songs for them. So I enjoy that process. The other songwriters that I collaborated with on this album were people that I've worked with before. So a wonderful guy called Duncan Thompson, who wrote with me Nothing Left to Do But Smile. I wrote with him on my previous record, and I enjoy working with him because we're very different, and we just complement each other beautifully. I ended up working a lot with somebody I've never worked with before called Simon Harris, who takes his background from gypsy jazz music. And I mentioned that Gypsy Jazz is a little bit, it's informing some of the music in this album, so that also worked really well. And when it came to writing songs like My Only Lament, there was only one person I could work with, which was Ed Harcourt. If you want to do something a bit kind of like serious and almost suicidal, you go to Ed for that. And then Do Me Right, Blair McKitchen, who's a great and fantastic writer, and he's a friend. So a lot of the people that I work with are people that I know get me, get my sound. They don't have to be kind of trendy, you know, current, amazing songwriters. They've just got to be somebody that gets the sound and gets the vibe, and we get each other and we have fun when we're doing it. The first 12-inch record that I bought was, I think it was Super Trooper by ABBA, but it could have been Fame from the Kids from Fame, one of those two. I think my proudest moment as a musician, and I specify musician rather than artist, has been performing in orchestras, actually playing the harp. And recently I did open the London Jazz Festival, and I did get to perform on stage with an orchestra behind me. So it's very much an experience that I really enjoy, because it goes back to my roots playing the harp classically, which is how I started, and being a part of something that's bigger than me. And you don't really get to do that other than being in an orchestra. That's really an amazing feeling, because it's beyond you, it's beyond what you can put out, it's the whole team coming together. So those have been very proud moments for me when I've had those opportunities to do that.